Namaskar to all traders and welcome. So this video will be on comparison between Alpha Capital Group and Fxify Propfirm. I completely understand that due to the recent scenario that happened with the funded trader, skill funded trader, Fortune's funding, 3 Propfirms getting banned on the same day. After that, many are scared that like which Propfirm to go with now. I would suggest personally, like my recommendation, like it's to go with the Propfirm that have a MetaQuartz license, because like they are the one, like it's pretty sure that they are not at all connected with Eastern Tech and all. So I'm going to share you 2 Propfirms, that is like Fxify and Alpha Capital Group. Both of them have their own MetaQuartz license, and they are for sure, of course, they are not at all connected to Eastern Tech, because Eastern Tech Propfirms, they were all switching. Since they don't have a MetaQuartz license, they were all switching from MetaTrader to DXTrade and all. So that's where the issues were, like that's where the issue were coming up. So these 2 Propfirms, they have their own MetaTrader, and you will get trading platform as the MetaTrader. So I'll do the comparison of these 2 Propfirms side by side, completely in an unbiased way with the help of whiteboard animation. Before moving ahead, in case if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, then kindly consider subscribing the channel. Thank you. So in order to make the comparison, I'm considering various factors by keeping both the Propfirms side by side. Both of the Propfirm belongs from London, United Kingdom, and Fxify have lot of program, like 3 programs that they have: 1-step challenge, 2-step challenge, and 3-step challenge. Whereas Alpha Capital Group, they only have one type of funding program, that is 2-step challenge. So in order to make this comparison video, I'm choosing the Fxify 2-step model, 2-step funding program, and Alpha Capital Group. I'll compare these 2. Now if you look at the profit target, first factor, that is profit target, in Fxify the profit target is 10% in phase 1 and 5% in phase 2. Whereas in Alpha Capital Group, it is 8% in phase 1 and 5% in phase 2. Now 8% is lesser than 10%, of course, so that's the reason I would give Alpha Capital Group green signal out here. Now coming to the daily drawdown and its type, it's 5% is the maximum daily loss in Fxify, which is calculated based on the balance at the starting of the day, and in Alpha Capital Group as well, it is 5%, which is calculated based on the balance here as well. So there is no comparison, it's same. And maximum drawdown, it's 10%, which is fixed type of drawdown in Fxify, and in Alpha Capital as well, it is 10%, which is fixed type of drawdown. Now coming to the risk to reward expectation, it is also known as profit to drawdown ratio. Some influencers also call it as a profit to drawdown ratio. So this is not a rule or something, it's just a comparative figure, it's just a comparative ratio which will help us to figure out which one is tougher or which one is easier out here. The higher the ratio, the tougher the challenge will be. The lower the ratio, the easier the challenge will be, because every Propfirm have different drawdown, different profit target, so it's hard to make the comparison. So the risk to reward expectation of Fxify, it comes around 1:1.5. The way we calculate is 10 plus 5 divided by the drawdown that they are offering. So 10 plus 5 is the profit target divided by the drawdown, and that comes around like 1:1.5. If you look at the Alpha Capital Group, it's around 1:1.3. So by this we can understand that Alpha Capital Group have easier challenge compared to Fxify. So for this, I'll give green signal to Alpha Capital Group. Now coming to the type of account that they provide, once you get a funded account, live account they provide in case of Fxify, and in case of Alpha Capital Group, they provide you with a simulated account. For this, I would give Fxify a green signal. Next is leverage. Next factor is leverage, that is in case of Fxify, the leverage is 1:50, which is less compared to the industry standards. And in case of Alpha Capital Group, the leverage is 1:100. So for this, I would give Alpha Capital Group green signal out here. Now coming to the broker, both of them have their own broker. In case of Fxify, they have a FX which is the part of the Fxify, or Fxify is the part of FX. Now in case of Alpha Capital Group, they have their own in-house broker, that is ACG Markets. And commission, if you see, both the Propfirm have an option to choose either to go with the 0 commission, or you can go with the raw spreads with little bit of commission in it. So you can choose that while checking out your account. So here, no comparison. Now coming to the trading platform, both the Propfirm have their own MetaQuartz license. So that's why both of them offers MetaTrader as your trading platform. In case of Fxify, you will find MT4 or MT5 you can choose. In case of Alpha Capital, MT5 or C Trader you can use out here. Now coming to the profit split is 75% by default in case of Fxify, which is quite less, I would say, and 90% on using the add-ons. But for that you will have to pay 20% extra fee in case if you want a 90% profit split. So by default it will be 75% only. That is the profit split that they are giving. And in case of Alpha Capital Group, the profit split will be 80%. So for this I would give Alpha Capital Group green signal out here. Now coming to the payout model, first payout is on demand. In case of Fxify, you can request your first payout as soon as you get funded. There is no minimum trading day requirement, there is no minimum trade requirement. You can request your payout as soon as possible once you get your funded account and make some profit on it. And after that, subsequent payout you can receive on a monthly basis by default. But in case if you want in a bi-weekly basis, you can pay 5% extra by using the add-ons. You can get that in a bi-weekly basis, your subsequent payouts. So that is the thing out here in case of Fxify. Whereas in case of Alpha Capital Group, you can receive your first payout after 14 days. And for that, you need to trade for at least 5 minimum trading days. That is the requirement for first payout, and the subsequent payouts you can take on a bi-weekly basis, and there is no any like minimum trading days requirement. In case if you want me to choose out here between these two, then I would choose Alpha Capital Group, since they have a bi-weekly basis, straight and forward, instead of monthly basis, and instead of paying extra for the bi-weekly payout out here in case of Fxify. Now coming to the fees, if it is refundable or not. In case of Fxify, yes, fees is refundable in case of Fxify with your first payout, whereas in case of Alpha Capital Group, they don't give a refund. They don't give a refund even after you pass the challenge. Minimum trading days is 5 days in case of Fxify. 5 days you have to trade at least in phases in order to move from one phase to another, whereas in case of Alpha Capital Group, it is 3 days. For this, I'll give Alpha Capital Group green signal. And regarding this fees and refundable fees, I would give this Fxify green signal out here. Coming to the inactivity rule, that is the rule that you have to trade in between those days. You have to trade for at least 1 day in order to keep your account active. So out here for Fxify, you have 60 days. So you have to trade at least 1 trade in between 60 days in order to keep your account active. So that is the rule out here. And in case of Alpha Capital Group, that is 30 days. So for this, like Fxify is more flexible out here, I would give green signal. And regarding the news trading, both of the Propfirm, they allow the news trading. And IP address rule, both of the Propfirm don't have any IP address rule. But in case of Fxify, in case if they only check with the multiple accounts using the same IP address, that is something which is not allowed. But you can use multiple devices to log in your account. There is no issue in that. However, you cannot use multiple accounts in the same device. So that is something like they will create an issue. They might ask a question and all. So IP address rule, both the Propfirm don't have any IP address rule. So for this, there is no comparison. And regarding the prohibited strategies, in case of Fxify, in case if you want to copy trades of other person or signals you service, these things are not allowed. But in case if you want to copy your own trades from other Propfirm account, then you have to make the proof that like that is your own account. You have to give them the proof by showing your trading history and all. And hedging and group hedging across the multiple accounts is not allowed. High frequency trading is not allowed. Trading on delete data feed and delete charts is not allowed. Martingale and gap trading, you can do that, but you have to take the approval from the customer support. There is some conditions that you need to fulfill. If it is good, then they will allow you to use the martingale or gap trading. Next is in case of Alpha Capital Group, you cannot take any advantage of any kind of demo environment, realistic prices or unrealistic trades opportunities such as arbitrage, latency, front running price feeds, exploiting mispricing, high frequency trading, reverse trading or group hedging. These are not allowed in case of Alpha Capital Group. Now coming to the scaling plan, which is in case of Fxify, trader has to hit, if you make a profit of 10% in between 3 months, and out of that 3 months, 2 months should be profitable, then they will scale your account by 25% in your first scale up. And in your subsequent scale up, in case if you again fulfill their condition of scaling up, then they will double your account. So they will double your account every time you hit your 10% profit, and out of that 3 months, that 2 months is profitable, then they will double your account. So that is something good out here. And in case of Alpha Capital Group, They will scale your account up to $2 million. It's very simple. You gain a 10% of profit, withdraw your 10% of profit, and you will still have the same balance even after withdrawing. So for example, you have a 100K account, you made a $10,000 profit, now you have a balance of 110,000, you made a withdrawal of 10,000, but you will still be trading with 110,000. So that's how they are going to scale your account. You can scale it all the way up to $2 million. Now for this, I would say, like, regarding the scaling plan, I would give green signal to Fxify because they are doubling your account from the second scaling condition. So that is something good out here. Now coming to the lot size rule, in case of Fxify, there is no lot size rule. However, to inform you, they have a low leverage compared to other prop firms. They have a leverage of 1:50. And coming to the lot size rule, in case of ACG, that is Alpha Capital Group, they have a lot size rule. In case of funded account, this is not applicable in the challenge account. However, in the funded account, according to the account size, there is a maximum lot that you can open at a time. Now last but not the least, that is 100K account prices. In case of Fxify, you will need to pay $475 without discount, and in case of Alpha Capital Group, you will need to pay $497 without discount. Now in case if you want to use a discount, we have a discount link of 5% in case of Fxify, which will bring down your price to $451.25. And they also have like so many promotions keeps on running. In case, like, if I find any by the time I post this video, I'll leave that in the description, so make sure to check the description before applying the account. Now in case of Alpha Capital Group, we have a lifetime discount that is of JamtsonFX for 20% discount. So for that, which will bring your price down to $397.60. Now regarding the prices, I would give Alpha Capital Group green signal out here. Alright trader, this is it about the comparison between the Alpha Capital Group and Fxify. Thank you so much for joining in. JamtsonFX closing the comparison between these two prop firms. Thank you.